What's up, everybody? I'm headed over to Merritt Island right now. They just sent an email about 2 days ago saying that they have opened up demo drives for the Tesla Model Y Standard, and I found out that the location nearest to me is over in Merritt Island. So this is apparently opening up to only select locations, and you do have to sign up, and somebody from that location will reach out to you to help you schedule that demo drive. I've already done that, so I'm headed there right now to test out the new Model Y Standard, get my driving impressions, and tell you what I think about this and who I think this car is really for. All right, so today we're going to do a demo drive on the brand new Tesla Model Y Standard. I just got in the car. I just got access to the key for this demo drive, and I have to adjust the seats without having the controls right here. So I thought that by doing the phone check-in, it would actually just transfer my profile, so I didn't have to do anything with this, but it doesn't. So I'm gonna have to do this on the screen. And so there we go. Just adjusting this right here, the bottom. Oh, it looks like you can actually control it with the scroll wheel too, right here. So I'm moving the scroll wheel right now, and it's adjusting or selecting. Yeah, there we go. So I scroll down. Oop. Okay. And then we do this part right here. That's the bolster. Oh, and I can also adjust the legs as well. And move it forward because I'm a little shorty patootie. All right, the other thing that's manual in here is the steering wheel. So I need to adjust it manually now, just to get it to my liking. Right here, I think. Okay. All right, let's take this puppy for a spin. Let's see if full self-driving works. It's on, but it might not be working, so I'm going to swipe up. And right off the bat, just the steering wheel itself, it feels very premium still, actually. The steering wheel feels pretty good. It still has that leather wrapped material on the steering wheel. I love that it has a turn signal stock. Okay. So acceleration, that's 6.8 seconds. You can really feel it. It's not the speediest, but it's definitely not bad, you know, for an entry-level Tesla Model Y. The handling so far feels pretty good. I'm not trying to swerve around, but, you know, kind of swaying it side to side a little bit just to kind of feel it. Feels pretty good. The controls, I love this updated steering wheel from the Juniper Model Y and the Model 3. I will say that with this textile half leather seats, it's actually very comfortable. It's not too bad. I will say, you know, I can feel, and maybe because I just got out of my Tesla that has all vegan leather and it's all leather, I will say that I can feel the difference in the texture when I'm sitting. So my back and my bottom, I can feel that textile material. You know, honestly, the seats, I realize, they're a little flatter. I realize that from the Juniper Model Y versus this one, the Juniper and even my older Legacy, whatever you want to call it, it does a little more. It does have a little more cushion bolster on the sides and in the bottom, so it hugs your legs a little bit more than this one does. This one feels a little bit flatter. And honestly, I'm wearing a hat today, but even if I don't wear a hat, honestly, I can't tell the difference in the way this looks in front of me. This feels very, very familiar from my current Model Y, because I can't actually see the glass roof when I'm driving. All I really ever see when I'm driving is this headliner right here where the fold down mirror is, but I actually never get to experience my own glass roof in my current Tesla Model Y. So this doesn't feel that different. Obviously the biggest difference is the steering wheel, the look of it, but the way it feels is about the same. It's a little bit more, smaller, I think. And obviously the dash, or the front part of the dash, obviously it's different than my current one. Mine has a big wood panel piece there. This one has a little more of that plush material on top of it, but it feels very familiar. It feels like almost like I'm driving my fiance's white Tesla Model Y. The screen, honestly, I know that it's a little bit bigger in the bezels, but I don't see the difference. Just by looking at it, I don't see the difference on it immediately. The response to this is pretty much the same. Maybe like a 0.1 smoother, maybe, but honestly, just by looking at it and touching it, you won't even notice the difference. The maps look exactly the same. Real quick thing that I did instinctively without actually realizing it is this middle part right here that doesn't have it no longer has a covered console here. It's all wide open. I brought my bag in, instinctively I just put it right there because it's a wide open space. So this is actually not that bad of a deal when it comes to this space right here. I feel like a lot of people are going to actually use this a lot more to put their backpacks. This is their purses, their kids' bags, the groceries. Especially like me, I sometimes go grocery shopping and just have one bag, and I'm like, I want to put it here, but I feel like if I hit the brake, it's gonna fly everywhere. But I feel like this is a great spot for that one bag of groceries, and just pop it right there because it's nice little center section right here, and it's rubberized, almost like the Cybertruck is. So it's a very good use of space in this area right here. The other thing that I'm noticing about this is where the phone holder is. It feels like it's further away from me, but it also feels like a little more upright. It feels like if I were to slam on the brakes, or I don't know, I feel like that my phone's gonna fly fairly quickly out of that spot in comparison to my current Model Y. And right now I'm just driving down these back roads through these older neighborhoods here in Merritt Island, not Myrtle, Merritt Island. And I wanted to do a quick sound check on this, just to kind of see, since I'm kind of going through a little bit of a rougher road here, and there is no soundproof glass, there's no double pane glass on any of these, but there is also no glass in the inside part of this car. There is glass on the outside, but it's not the heavy duty material. So I'm gonna just kind of show you guys what this looks like sound wise. So it kind of teeters between 63 and 67. Not too bad for, the sound in here. I do want to go out to the main road to see how much of the road noise I hear and the traffic noise. But so far, sound is not too bad in here with this not having a glass roof in here. One downside of this demo drive is it looks like the full self-driving is not working properly. So I'm not able to experience what full self-driving feels like in this standard Model Y, which is fine. I've experienced it before on the Cybertruck and also in my current Model Y when I did do the subscription piece of it. So I'll make a U-turn. All right, so turn radius, I'm not gonna lie, feels really smooth and feels really tight. I just did a really sharp U-turn in a very small space back there. and I will say that turn radius felt very tight and very easy to do. As I head back to the main road, I can't help to feel the difference in suspension. The seats, again, they're comfortable. So I feel like these seats are really great for what I do right now, which is a lot of commuting. Like I said, I use my car for long distance commute. I commute about 200 miles every week up and down from Central to South Florida. And for me, the ride comfort is really important. I feel like the seats are really comfortable, but I wonder if the textile material, the cloth part of the material, if after 40,000 miles, I wonder if it starts to wear differently than the leather one. I don't know. That's something to maybe do a video later down the road. Now, besides that, I just came driving my personal 2023 Model Y all-wheel drive long range, and that suspension on that one is very stiff. The suspension on this, I can't tell if it's also stiff or it's a little dampened, but because this comes with 18-inch wheels, so you have a lot more sidewall than a 19 or even a 20, which is what I have, or a 21 on the performance model. I can't tell if the suspension with the added sidewall on these tires is making it a little more comfortable, a little more dampened as I'm driving this Model Y Standard. But it's very comfortable. I will say it's a very comfortable ride. You do not feel like you're missing out on the premium Tesla Model Ys or even the performance. Although the performance, that's a whole different beast on its own, especially the one that's coming out or was just launched this year, should be available sometime later this year. But between the standard and the premium or even a used Tesla Model Y like the one I have, you're not missing out on anything, on the experience of driving this car. The system is pretty much the same. You know, the charging, I was actually not sure if I was going to charge my phone. It actually is charging my phone just fine. The space right here feels great use of space in here. You know, they got rid of this section right here for efficiency when it came to the production line. But still, this is great use of space. The way this feels over on my elbow, just kind of resting my arm right here on the armrest, it's very soft materials. This material on the side, it is a little harsher, not harsh, but just stiffer. You know, it's rubbing against my arm, but it's not uncomfortable. Like if I had to drive to work in this car, it's actually not bad. Now, the other thing I really like now that I'm in this car and I'm thinking about potentially owning this particular version is the pockets on the sides. The pockets in this Model Y, they're not carpeted. They have plastic inline. And I find it to be better because it's easier to clean. If I drop something in there, which many times the thing that I do the most is I always carry around a bottle of Purell in there. And sometimes I forget to close it all the way and it knocks over and it heats up and it bubbles out. Sounds super gross, but it does happen. So it ends up leaving, you know, marks inside there and it's hard to clean. So I think I would prefer it to be like this one. This one has the rubber inline pieces in here. So it's actually all rubber material, if you can hear that. So I actually prefer that for, you know, cleanliness. Honestly, driving this right now, the sound, I'm trying to focus on it to see if it feels any different, sounds any different. Not really. From my Tesla Model Y, my 2023 Model Y, to this, it's about the same. Or I would say maybe not the same, maybe better than mine. And I'm guessing it's because of this material up here that it's kind of dampening the sound even more. I do hear a little more rattling back there, but I don't know if it's because the seats in the back are a little bit thinner because I got rid of that, you know, section for the middle part. So now you can actually fold all three parts of the back seats independently, which is great for utility, especially if you're trying to haul out some kind of like long, maybe a guitar, maybe like piping or luggage or anything that's long, and you want to be able still to use the 2 seats in the back, I think it's a fantastic, use of space and utilitarianism back there. All right, so now we're driving on the main road here. There's a lot more traffic out here, and I want to see if the sound is any different. So I'm coming up to a light here where there's more cars. There's a Corvette up here, so depending on how festive this Corvette is feeling, we might get to hear him. But let's see if that makes a difference in the sound. Corvette, kept it neat. All right, so crossing the bridge, and now that I'm a little bit more with traffic, it looked like it's still around 66 decibels. So not bad at all. And I'm wondering if it's mostly this, because a lot of the textures in here are either plastic or this kind of hard material that's right here on my armrest over here. But yeah, it's definitely staying within the 63, 67 decibels in this road. It's actually not bad at all. Suspension feels really nice. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm driving my 23 Model Y in terms of just the way it looks, but with updated features like the steering wheel, this cubby area down here to put bags, to put whatever you want, really. So it's almost like I took the steering wheel from the Juniper Model Y and put it in my Model Y, because everything else in here just feels very, very familiar, very, very easy in comparison. Now, just for reference, the temperature right now is about 80 degrees, sunny. It's almost clear skies where I'm at right now, so all I see is blue skies. But again, I'm not missing out on it because I can't really see it up here. Now, typically when I'm driving my car, there's more glass, so I can see in this direction, and I can see the sky from here, which, it's nice, but, you're taking out your eyes off the road, so it's a little bit of a hazard. But just the way I see it now is the same way I would see it when I'm driving my own car. Now, in terms of dynamics, actually very much like I have right now, is I have the chill, acceleration, and standard. And in standard, in mine, is very quick. This one in standard, let me see if I can slow down a little bit and go from slow to, giving it some turbo. Oh, man. That's 6.8 seconds to get to 60. It's like driving chill mode. Like, it feels like it wants to take off because the car does, kind of lift up a little bit. It leaves you waiting for the punch that just throws you back into your seat, and it never gets there. I'm gonna try that one more time and see if I can do that one more time and see how it feels. But honestly, unless you like that sporty vibe where or not even that sporty vibe, if you like that, I'm going to punch it like Han Solo and just go through the stars. This isn't it. You might want to go to a premium level or even wait for the performance level. But if you just want this car as your daily commuter, easy to clean, easy to maintain, you don't need to charge in the middle of the day, you can just charge overnight, which a lot of us do that anyways with a home charger. Or not even a home charger. If you have the portable charger, you can charge this thing overnight and be fine, especially if you're just doing, local commuting to work, or just going to school. This is honestly a great car, at least what I think, for somebody who's just starting college. But a lot of times, and this is just my opinion, when we think about buying kids that are going into college, or kids that are buying their own cars when they're in college, you got to balance out reliability, safety, easy of use. I'm at that age where my instinct is to tell kids, get the cheapest car, learn how to fix it, so that you can understand how cars work. I don't know if that's really the case anymore. I will say that in today's day and age, and the way that cars are coming up in the future, I can almost see this being, a starter car for someone. If you can afford it, great. Especially if you do a lease. No, well, they don't do leases, but if you can afford it, this car is super safe. This car is reliable. This car is easy to clean. So even if you get it all dirty in here, probably a nice wipe down on the plastic areas at least, and you're good to go. I don't think you need all the sound deadening. I don't think you need all the flashy light. The other thing that I think this car is really good for is for our friends who like to DIY. And I mentioned this in a previous video, but if you're the type that you rather spend the difference in price from a standard Model Y, from a premium Model Y, and you don't want to spend the extra $5,000 to get the premium level, and you want to stay within a certain budget because you want to DIY or do your own installations, you can I can totally see this car being that type of car for you. So if you want to buy ambient lighting and you want to install those yourself, this is a car to do it. If you are the type that likes to 3D print things and you want to try new things, new solutions to problems people don't even know they have with this car, this is a car to do it, because you can absolutely do as much installation as you possibly can imagine in a car like this. I'm sure some people are going to try to open this up. For what reason? I don't know. I'm sure there are going to be people that are going to do the ambient lighting installation and God knows what else. Decals on the outside where those empty spots are now, where on the premium you have the ambient lighting, all that kind of stuff. I can imagine people getting stuff to fill in those blank spots, which, again, when I think about it, it's almost like, the Tokyo Drift, Fast and the Furious series, where everybody has a very unique looking car. Or if you're coming from where I came from, which I used to own a Jeep Wrangler, then Jeep Gladiator, we always had very unique looking Jeeps because we like to customize our Jeeps to make them our own. With this standard Model Y, I can totally see people customizing this car even more than they already do for a lesser price, and customize them in a way that is unique. It speaks to the person, and it's something that when you see this Model Y, that, oh, that's so-and-so's car. That's where I see this car going. Okay, so I'm headed back to the Tesla showroom, and I want to try out the acceleration one more time. I left it in standard. Deceleration is standard as well. Everything else is fine. All right, so I'm going to try to slow down just as much as I can. Best part of all is that now is when I have all these cars behind me, so I'm trying to slow down, but there's too many cars, and also this Jeep that's about to pass me. He's full of ducks in front of his dashboard, which, I used to do that too, but that was fun. I think I have enough space now. I'm going to try to slow down just a little bit, and I'm going to hit it. Oh, the way up to 80. That was not a complete standstill. It's not bad. I'm not going to lie. The acceleration isn't bad. 6.8 seconds. I know that wasn't 0 to 60, but just, from rolling to punching it, yeah, it doesn't push you all the way back. It doesn't give you that launch into the stratosphere kind of feel, but it's not bad. It's zippy enough. Is Yeah, it's adequate. It's adequate. It's not a Hyundai. It's not a Prius, but it's still Tesla. It's still a fantastic acceleration for this car. I feel like if this car would have come out a couple of years ago, Tesla might have not won the electric vehicle competition. I feel like if they would have started with this, people would have been like comparing it to a Prius or something like a Leaf or something like that. This is very, very, very timely, especially now with the EV tax credit being expired. This is a very good entry-level car for people that now understand the brand, now understand the reliability, the safety features, and everything else that Tesla offers. The software updates that happen over the air, the battery reliability. There are Teslas that are now 10 years old, that are almost 15 years, not 15, but they're more than 10 years, and they're still kicking. They still have great batteries. The degradation on those batteries are pretty much great. But it's no different than ICE car. ICE cars that, after a period of time, pieces and parts, they wear and tear. So efficiency goes down regardless of what kind of car you have. But this is a fantastic car. I would not change it. It's a great starter car if you want to try out a Tesla, but you can't or don't want to spend the extra money for a premium level or the performance level. This is a great value. Yeah, it's $40,000. Although some states still do offer some incentives for the for owning an electric vehicle, like California, Colorado, Denver. I believe New York is another one. So there are states that still offer some incentives for people that own electric vehicles. But if not, $40,000 for this, it's actually not bad. The last thing I'll say is I've used the regen braking a couple of times already, and I don't think it feels tight. Even mine feels a little bit firmer or stops a little bit sooner than this one does. I feel like this one takes a little too long to stop on just regen braking alone. But again, it's not a deal breaker. You kind of get used to not using the brakes on these cars anyway. So that's the only other thing that I would probably say that's a little bit different, that, just be mindful of that, I guess. If this video helps you understand more what it is like to own an electric vehicle, or you like content like this, I would appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. It does help the algorithm push this content out to other people that are interested in this type of content. It also helps our channel grow, and it helps me bring you more videos like this. Follow me on Instagram at CruisinEV, or on my Facebook as well, CruisinEV. Oh, and my TikTok. Don't forget my TikTok. I appreciate your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.